this is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man, so I've been getting a lot of messages, man. People have been asking me, where does the WBC go now as far as a #1 contender? We know, well, the mandatory, where they're going to go with this WBC interim title was supposed to be Stiverne versus Povetkin. The winner gets Deontay Wilder. So people have been asking me, man. I've seen some fans say that Whyte should get the chance. He beat Chisora in an eliminator fight. And I keep telling some of you guys, yes, it was an eliminator fight, but it wasn't a final eliminator. It was just an eliminator. It wasn't a final eliminator. All right, so I'm not sure. You know, maybe Deontay Wilder wants to fight somebody on a voluntary defense that's in the top 15, top 10. I'm not sure what he's going to do, man. But as far as, you know, the WBC interim fight, you can possibly, you know, put Pulev in there. He's rated #3 by the WBC. And with me, man, I like for the rankings to make sense. I know a lot of you guys, when I converse with you guys will, you know, you'll go all the way down to my man Whyte, who fought a great fight against Derek Chisora, but that was just a normal eliminator fight. Whyte was rated #10 by the WBC. Chisora was rated #11 by the WBC. That's all facts. Now, if you think highly of Whyte, that's fine, man. That's your opinion. But the facts are he was rated #10. He's going to move up with some of these losses. Povetkin's going to get took out the rankings now. DUHAUPAS, who was rated #4 by the WBC. This fight was not sanctioned by the WBC, the fight with DUHAUPAS and Povetkin. DUHAUPAS holds that WBC silver title that he won in a vacant fight against Robert Helenius. That title was vacated by Povetkin. So I see Whyte moving up in the rankings. But with that said, though, what about a guy like Pulev, who's rated #3? Jennings is rated #5. Szpilka is rated #6. Wach is rated #7. Wach is rated #9. Now, Szpilka, #6, he already got a title shot at the beginning of the year against Wilder. He came up short. Now, is there a possibility that he can reposition himself and earn another title shot? Of course he can. He's rated #6. You put him in the eliminator fight, and if he wins out those eliminator bouts, then, hey, he's the mandatory challenger, right? I'm not against a guy reestablishing himself. But as of right now, I mean, he shouldn't get a title shot. I really think, and I'm going to stay consistent with this, I think that WBC needs to make Jennings, who's rated #5, and Washington, who's rated #7, into an eliminator fight. Like I said, Szpilka, he's rated #6. He already got his title shot. If they throw him into an eliminator fight, so be it. Pulev's rated #3. Now, what I would want, the next best logical thing would be take #2 Stiverne, have him fight #3 Pulev. The winner is the interim champion. You think that would be most logical, but Pulev, I'm not sure what he wants to do. He is the IBF mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua's title. Joshua's getting ready to fight Klitschko, so the winner of that, when they have to defend that IBF title, it will be against KUBRAT Pulev. So maybe he wants to just chill and wait on that scenario to play out. Or possibly the WBC can have Pulev versus Stiverne for the interim title. According to their rankings, that makes the most logical sense. DUHAUPAS, some people are saying, who the hell is DUHAUPAS? Well, he's rated #4 by the WBC, and he has their WBC silver title. Now, he just got knocked out. That fight was not sanctioned, so he's still the WBC silver titleist. But he did get knocked out. It's not like we can just pretend like that didn't happen. You know, I know Povetkin was juiced up, but we just can't pretend like he just didn't go to sleep, you know, and that's going to affect him as a fighter, man. So I'm curious to see what he looks like when he comes back. People have been asking me about Carlos Takam. Where does this leave Carlos Takam? He was going to fight DUHAUPAS January 29th for the WBC interim title, or I'm sorry, for the WBC silver title. Sorry, the silver title, DUHAUPAS. Takam was going to fight him. That fight was ready to go. The last I heard about that, they just needed a venue. They didn't know. They didn't come to an agreement about a venue. I actually did a video on that. You can check it out. Type in Mr. Boxing Today 2, Takam, DUHAUPAS. The video will pop up. All right, so I'm not sure where Takam's going to go from here, man. Maybe you can have Takam fight Jennings or Washington or somebody, Szpilka. #9, Wach, he was ordered by the EBU to fight for their vacant title. So I'm not sure if he wants to do that. The EBU said that they're ordering him to fight the next highest rated available guy. I believe the #1 guy was David Hay, if I remember correctly. But the next available guy that doesn't have a fight coming up was Ajit Kabayel, a German prospect. So I'm not sure what MARIUSZ Wach is going to do. But pretty much, man, I think with all this shit that's going on, I think they just need a tournament. I know Stiverne and Don King, they don't want to hear that. But to tell you the truth about Stiverne, no disrespect to Stiverne, man, but me as a fan, I still kind of feel uncomfortable with his, he failed the test too. That what did he take? DMAA. I know people say it was an energy drink. Yeah, you can miss me with that. I don't give a fuck if it was an energy drink, a bad pack of Starbursts he bought from the convenience store. I know the WBC hit him with a fine, I think $75,000, some community service, talking to athletes about drug use in sports, and some other things they hit him with as far as punishment. But to me, I mean, what is this clean boxing program thing around for? We catch guys, we axe them, give them fucking suspensions, man. Like, so if you catch a guy, he takes something that's not that bad, we give him a slap on the wrist and a fine. It doesn't make any fucking sense, if you ask me. You know what I mean? So just the fact that Stiverne is still, you know, they may have him fight for the interim title. You know, him and Povetkin both, man. I said it previously that fight had a black cloud over it once Stiverne, the shit happened with the DMAA situation, and then Povetkin and his team still decided to go on with the fight, and the WBC still were going to sanction the fight for the WBC interim title. I was still kind of scratching my head like, what the fuck, you know? Then when Povetkin, he popped for the Austrian, it was really like, oh my goodness, man, like what the fuck is going on here? I see Stiverne and Don King, they're going to try to sue Povetkin. I'm not sure how that's going to work out since Stiverne had failed a test like a month ago. The DMAA, you know, all this shit is just crazy, man. It's just crazy. Like, so what is this clean boxing program around for? Again, like I said, is it just, are we going to just rate the drug use? Like, okay, well, this drug isn't as bad as this drug, so we'll just give you a slap on the wrist, but you can still fight. And you test positive. It's just weird, man. Now, I guess there was some research done that's, you know, Stiverne had, he took in this supplement unknowingly, I guess. I mean, he's not going to say he, you know, I doubt that he's going to say that he knew that he was putting it in his system. My thing is, whether he knew or not, you know, let's say Stiverne is telling the truth and he really didn't know that he put it in his system. But my thing is, there has to be some type of punishment besides a fine. Like, how do we still let these fights go on, man? Now, some of you can say, oh, but that, you know, it's like drinking a Mountain Dew. It's like, well, they need to change around what's legal and what's not illegal. Because if we're just going to treat things as if, you know, simple as it's like drinking Mountain Dew. It's like, come on, man. Like, no, it's not. It's like putting some illegal shit in your system. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm curious to see what the WC is going to do, man. So a lot of you guys asking me questions. I don't know, man. I thought I seen a rumor. Don't quote me on this. Not written in stone, but somebody was saying Stiverne versus Dillian Whyte. Be a good fight. I'll watch the fight. Of course I'll watch the fight. And if that ends up being the WBC interim title fight, I guess, but you know, Dillian Whyte has guys that are rated ahead of him, so it's kind of weird. How does he get to jump over all those other guys? Now, whether you are a Dillian Whyte fan, of course, that's what you want. But for me as a fan, I would like for these rankings to mean something, not just fucking names and numbers. Like, actually, let's make it mean something. How can the number 10 guy fight the number 11 guy and then jump over everybody else to a title shot? When Washington hasn't lost, yeah, he needs to... Not to say that he hasn't lost a fight, but he hasn't lost recently. He hasn't got derailed or anything. He's still out there. Shouldn't he? He's number 7. He's rated ahead of Dillian Whyte. Now, if you want to argue that Dillian Whyte's win over Chisora is bigger than anything Washington has ever done, fair enough. But my thing is just that these rankings have to mean something. At least have Washington fight Jennings in an eliminator, and then the winner of that can fight Dillian Whyte in a final eliminator. I mean, something, man. But again, what about Carlos Takam? Like, what are we going to do with him? Is he still going to fight for the WC silver title? Should that title be vacant now? Although Duhaupas He wasn't stripped of it, and that fight wasn't sanctioned, but he still got knocked out. We just can't act like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So do we have Takam? Does he fight Szpilka? Or I have no idea what's going to go on, man. I have no idea. If it were up to me, though, I would have Stiverne fight Pulev. And if Pulev doesn't want to fight, then I will go down in the rankings. Then Johann DUHAUPAS number 4, but he just got stretched. So then I'll have Jennings step up to the plate. You know what I mean? But I think they need to get a tournament. And to tell you the truth, I don't see how Stiverne is still going to be in position to fight for when he also failed a test. I'm just... Him and Povetkin, man, it's just not... It's just weird to me. It's super weird to me. But fair, you know, to be fair to Stiverne, the WBC punished him. And their punishment was the $75K and the other stipulations, the community service, so on and so forth. But to me, man, these guys testing positive for some shit, they should sit out for a year. If not more. Povetkin needs to sit out way longer. But just my opinion, I'm sure some of the Stiverne fans and supporters will disagree with me. And that's cool, man. But I just, no matter who it is, whether it's Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, David Haye, Joseph Parker, Klitschko, whoever it is, man, if you get popped dirty for something, as a fan, it just looks weird when it's just a fine and community service. You know what I mean? Like, no, man, have these motherfuckers sit out to send a message, man. 1-2 years. You know what I mean? You know, anywhere from 1 year and up to fucking send a message. Don't put nothing in your system. Don't take fucking pills and all this other shit and powders and creams and all this, man. Just normal hard work. I know, you know, that's me being naive, and nobody does that no more. You know what I mean? All these guys are putting some in them, it seems like, from the shit that I see. But it seems as if, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just... Shit doesn't make any sense to me. How guys can just pop and then their punishment is a fine. And don't do it again. You know, I mean, they should sit out for at least a year and up. That's my opinion. I'm curious to read the comment section and what you guys have to say about this. What do you think the WBC should do? Do you think Stiverne should just be handed the interim title and then he fights Wilder? Or do you think he needs to fight somebody and earn that interim title and his shot to fight Wilder? I mean, since the Wilder fight, Stiverne has fought one time against Derek Rossi. He didn't look all that great. It was a close, debatable fight. Rossi put him down, too. But Stiverne got up, won on the scorecards that he was supposed to do. But he's only fought one time since he lost that title. What was it, January 2015? You know, so I think he needs to fight somebody. Pulev, Jennings, Washington, Whyte. I mean, at least fight somebody to get it. But then again, some of these guys I think need to fight in other eliminators to establish who is the guy that's going to get his title shot. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.